much impact that our project has. So for the demos that we'll be doing, Professor Chen will come up to the podium to demo a little bit about the toolkits that we integrated together. So we'll load the VMware appliance, then start Apache and WebGo, start Perils as a proxy, and then show some the WebGo modules. Thank you.
Hello. Can everybody hear me? All right. Hi, my name is Li-Chao Chen, and then as my colleague Chienting has just mentioned, we designed this suite modules mainly for undergraduate web security education. Okay, so we have, although currently we have a lot of other toolkits or other software that actually widely used by the industry practitioner. However, it's very hard to package them together when we come down to teach them to undergraduate students. Think about it. They only probably have only very limited background on programming. They have some background on web programming or some background on HTML. So our purpose is to design something that's interesting, and then they would say, oh, okay, this is very interesting, and I want to spend some time to learn more about web security. Okay, so that's our motivation. And then for the modules that my colleague has just mentioned, we only have just started developing and putting things together. And then last semester, I actually has already tried one of these modules in one of our network security classes. And then students were all excited and say, oh, okay, what's happening here? And then sometimes they just see the results and say, oh, okay, I can hack into a website, and then what am I going to do about it? Okay, and then they started to get very interesting about web security problems and start to check out websites like Owasp or some other works, and then that's the purpose of this tool. So we are considering this tool can be portable, okay? So as my colleague has just mentioned, we can package them in one DVD, and then if we package both the Linux version and the Windows version together, that is about 4 GB. But the Linux version alone is around 2 GB. But if we add some other applications on the virtual machine, that's slightly more than 2 GB. And then we want to design these modules to be affordable, okay, which is very important for us because we have a very limited budget to develop things like this for educational purpose. So we are trying to make these things affordable. So virtual machine is one of the most affordable solutions that we can have, since once we develop the module, we can move it either to desktops or laptops, and even we have laptops, we can take it to different campuses. CASE has multiple campuses. One of them is in downtown New York, the other one is in Pleasantville. So while we collaborate, we can develop this tool and then move it in either campuses that we want to use. For example, today I actually put the modules in this laptop. This is a pretty old laptop. I have used it for about 4 years now. Okay, so it only has 1 GB. So it runs a little bit slow on this machine since of the memory limitation. However, if you have about 2 GB of memory, it runs beautifully. Okay, so and the third reason we want to design this module is we want it to be flexible. As you can see that we have packaged a lot of open source web security tools and a lot of web programming tools. Actually, another professors in our department actually use this virtual machine to teach web programming class. Okay, so the same foundation they can use for a different purpose. And then we would like to have these modules to be extendable. Okay, so currently we have packaged Perils, WebScarab, and then WebGo on this virtual machine. However, we can give students this virtual machine for them to use as a project so that they can add on some other components in order to develop some other web security projects. Okay, so now I would like to do some very quick demonstration of the virtual machine package that we have. Okay, so on the window here, I actually has already booted up Linux virtual machine. Okay, so it's in the Windows here. And then I has also booted up a Tomcat web server here. So you can see that when I connect to my local machine and 8080 port, I can see the Apache, the default homepage. Okay, and then the next thing I'm going to do is to start up Paros. So basically, WebGoat is a web server that is based on Tomcat. Okay, and then with a lot of security educational add-ons, which is developed by Owasp. And then once you have this, you can use another tools called either Paros or WebScareUp. You can use that as a proxy server. So while you're running the web applications, you can use the proxy to actually monitor web traffic. Okay, so in this case, we can show students web traffic can be intercepted, and then people can, if your content is not encrypted, you can see the content in plain text. So so I have this here, and then I'm going to run another terminal to open up the Paros. Okay, and then I'm going to start up Paros servers, which is implemented by Java. Okay, one of the issues that we have encountered while we're putting all these open source tools together is that you often encounter version compatibility problem. Okay, while you have Paros, you have WebGoat, and sometimes they are developed at different time, and then they are based on different JDK, and then sometimes it works with this version of JDK, but it doesn't work with another version of JDK. So it takes a lot of time to figure out which version is the right version. And usually, actually we were thinking about using WebScareUp, but somehow we have encountered some problems with JDK on a particular version of WebScareUp. So you would, if you are going to put this kind of open source tool together, this is one of the major problems that you would encounter. So when I start Paros, now you can see that it's a proxy server. Okay, so what I have to do right now is to direct my web browser to the proxy server, okay, so that the proxy server will be able to intercept the web traffic. So students can observe the web traffic while they are running this virtual machine. So I set the proxy to the local host, okay, and 8008 is the port used by Paros. Okay, as you can see now, my screen is pretty small, so that's why I have to scroll up and down. Okay, all right, so once I did that, I'm going to start up the WebGoat server. Well, I'm going to connect to the WebGoat server. Actually, I has already started up. Okay. Oops.